6 exercises you'll regret ignoring 10 years from now. Have you ever stood up from your favorite recliner and heard your knees make a noise like a bag of chips being crushed? Or maybe you've bent over to pick up your grandchild, only to wonder, halfway down, whether you'll make it back up in one piece? You're not alone. In fact, if you're over 55 and moving around like a creaky front porch door in the middle of winter, it might be time for a little tough love, because your body is trying to tell you something. Let's be honest. Exercise isn't always the most exciting part of the day. For many of us, retirement was supposed to be the time we stop running around, not start doing squats in the living room. But here's the catch: ignoring your body's basic need for movement can turn those just a little stiff mornings into long-term health regrets. That's why today's article is a must-read. We're diving deep into 6 specific exercises that older adults often skip, sometimes because they seem too basic, sometimes because they look a little silly, and sometimes because no one told us they were important. But in 10 years, oh, you'll wish you hadn't skipped them. These aren't just random moves pulled from a 1980s fitness video hosted by a man in neon spandex. These exercises are backed by real science, designed to preserve mobility, reduce pain, prevent falls, and keep you doing the things you love, like gardening, golfing, or chasing after that mischievous grandkid on a sugar high. Throughout this story, you'll meet real people just like you, like Frank from Ohio, who discovered the power of balance training the hard way, or Martha from Florida, whose glutes saved her life. We're not kidding. You'll laugh, you'll learn, and more importantly, you'll come away with 6 powerful habits that can change how your body moves and feels for years to come. So grab a cup of tea, maybe stretch a little while you're at it, and let's get into the good stuff. If you find this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health, where we make health simple, practical, and real for older adults in America. And don't be shy. Leave us a like or a comment below so we know what you'd love to see more of. Let's take a moment to talk about Ed. Ed's a 68-year-old retired postman from Des Moines, Iowa. He used to walk 8 miles a day, 6 days a week for nearly 3 decades. Rain, snow, sun, nothing stopped him. But after retirement, Ed traded his mailbag for a recliner and his sturdy walking shoes for fuzzy slippers. He figured he'd earned the rest. Now, Ed wasn't doing nothing. He watched the grandkids, kept up the lawn, even tried Tai Chi once for 5 minutes. But he ignored one crucial thing: strength and balance exercises. 10 years later, Ed has 2 knee braces, a back that aches when he sneezes, and a fear of stairs that makes him plan his routes around buildings with elevators. And Ed's not alone. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans aged 65 or older falls each year, and those falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths in this age group. The good news? Many of these falls and the gradual loss of independence that comes with them are preventable, and it all starts with simple, consistent movement. The silent thief called muscle loss, aka sarcopenia. From the age of 30, we begin losing muscle mass, about 3% to 8% per decade. After age 60, that number accelerates. By the time someone hits their 70s, they may have lost over 25% of their original muscle mass, and that's if they're relatively healthy. This condition is called sarcopenia, and it's not just about strength. It impacts your balance, metabolism, even your ability to recover from illness or surgery. Dr. William Evans, a pioneer in aging muscle research at Tufts University, once said, "Muscle is the currency of longevity." When you think about it, he's right. Muscles are the engine behind walking, lifting, standing up from a chair, holding posture, even breathing efficiently. The worst part: most people don't feel the loss until one day they wake up and realize the stairs are harder, the grocery bags feel heavier, and getting up from the floor takes longer than it should. It sneaks up quietly, and the only way to fight it, use it, or lose it. Balance isn't just for yogis in leggings. Let's talk about balance, one of those things you never think about until it's gone. Balance isn't just about standing on one foot or trying to touch your toes. It's the reason you don't fall when reaching for a cereal box on a high shelf or stepping off a curb. When balance declines, you start to adopt safe movement habits, like walking slower, not turning your head while walking, or avoiding uneven surfaces. Ironically, these habits increase fall risk because they reduce your responsiveness and confidence. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that older adults who regularly practiced balance exercises like heel-to-toe, walking, standing on one leg, and shifting weight between feet, had a 37% lower fall rate over 1 year. That's huge. Balance also involves the vestibular system, inner ear, proprioception, body awareness, and muscle coordination, all of which decline naturally with age. But with targeted movement, these systems stay sharper, like Martha from Tampa, who we'll get to in a bit. Joint stiffness, not just an old age thing. It's just arthritis, we often say, brushing off joint pain like it's a badge of honor. But joint stiffness doesn't have to be a part of aging. Much of it comes from inactivity. Synovial fluid, the oil in our joints, is only produced when we move. No movement, no lubrication, creaky knees and stiff hips. Harvard Health Publishing points out that regular low-impact exercise helps preserve cartilage, reduce inflammation, and improve joint function. In short, motion is lotion. Without movement, connective tissues begin to tighten, especially around the hips, shoulders, and spine. That's when things like getting out of a car or reaching behind to zip a dress turn into Olympic events. The scary truth about posture and spinal shrinkage, you've probably seen it. Someone whose upper back seems permanently hunched over, chin juts forward, and every step looks like it's pushing against the wind. That's kyphosis, often caused by weak back and core muscles. And once the spine starts curving, breathing becomes more shallow, digestion slows, and balance gets thrown completely off. A study from the Mayo Clinic showed that people with poor posture in their 60s and 70s were more likely to experience falls, fractures, and even respiratory decline. Maintaining spinal alignment isn't about walking around with a book on your head. It's about strengthening the muscles that hold you upright, especially the glutes, lower back, and abdominals. Exercises targeting these can literally help you stand taller, breathe easier, and feel younger. Blood sugar, brain health, and the role of movement. Most folks know that exercise helps manage blood sugar and reduce risk of type 2 diabetes. But did you know certain movements, like strength training and aerobic walking, also improve brain health? A landmark study published in Neurology found that older adults who exercised 3 times a week saw up to 50% slower decline in cognitive function compared to sedentary peers. That's not just feeling sharper, that's reducing risk for dementia, Alzheimer's, and memory loss. Movement increases circulation to the brain, helps stimulate neuroplasticity, and even enhances mood and motivation by releasing dopamine and serotonin. It's like fertilizing the garden inside your head. Why I walk a lot isn't always enough now, you might be saying, but I walk every day. And that's great. Walking is wonderful for cardiovascular health, leg strength, and mental clarity. But it doesn't cover all the bases. Walking doesn't challenge your upper body, it rarely engages your core or back, and it doesn't do much for mobility or flexibility. It also doesn't target balance or reaction time unless you're walking on uneven terrain, which most of us try to avoid. That's why incorporating a well-rounded routine with strength, balance, flexibility, and mobility exercises is crucial. Walking is like brushing your teeth. It's necessary, but not the whole dental plan. The psychological payoff. Confidence, independence, and joy. Now let's go back to Martha. At 72, she lives alone in a quiet Florida neighborhood. A few years ago, she slipped in the kitchen reaching for a pot. No broken bones, but it shook her confidence. She stopped cooking, stopped hosting her friends, and slowly her world shrank. Then her daughter enrolled her in a local senior strength and balance class. At first, Martha protested, "I'm too old to plank." But within 6 weeks, she was stepping higher, walking faster, and beaming with pride after mastering a lunge. "Do you know what got me back in the kitchen?" she said. "It wasn't therapy, it was my glutes. When you move better, you feel better. You trust your body. And when you trust your body, you participate more in life. That's the real win." 8. What happens if you don't start now? Let's imagine you do nothing. You keep meaning to start, but life gets in the way. In 5 years, your knees hurt more, stairs look steeper, and you've had a few close calls with falling. You stop going out as much. In 10 years, you're using a walker, needing help with simple tasks, and spending more time watching life than living it. That's not the future we want. And it's not inevitable. According to the National Institute on Aging, it's never too late to start improving strength, balance, and flexibility, even in your 80s. The body is resilient. It responds to consistent effort. You don't need to run a marathon, but you do need to move with intention. The bottom line, what you do today shapes how you live tomorrow, just like saving for retirement. Investing in your body pays off with freedom, independence, and dignity. It's not about six-packs or bikinis. It's about carrying your own groceries, picking up your grandchild, traveling without fear, or simply walking across the yard to smell the roses without losing your balance. So whether you're like Ed, easing into your 70s, or like Martha, looking to bounce back from a scare, remember, movement is medicine, and every little bit counts. If you're enjoying this article, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for Senior Health, where we bring science, storytelling, and smart choices together for healthier aging. Drop a like or a comment below if this hits home. We'd love to hear your story. Let me introduce you to Carol. She's 74, lives in Eugene, Oregon, and makes the best homemade blueberry muffins in her church group. She's got energy, wit, and a dog named Marley, who still thinks he's a puppy despite being 12. But what really surprises people about Carol is this. She can do a 30-second wall sit without groaning. That's not a small feat at any age. And certainly not when you're juggling arthritis, mild osteoporosis, and the grandma taxi job of driving grandkids around town. Carol isn't an athlete. She's just a woman who made one decision at 68 years old. I don't want to be afraid of stairs. This section is all about helping you be like Carol, not with muffins, though we'd all love that recipe, but with 6 exercises that can literally change how you age. These moves aren't about looking younger. They're about moving with power, confidence, and independence. 1. Chair squats, the longevity lift. What it works: quads, glutes, core, hamstrings. The story: Bob from Pittsburgh, 81 years old, says this is how he trains to get off the toilet without needing help. "Every time I do a squat, I feel like I'm buying another month of dignity," he jokes. Chair squats are fundamental. They mimic the real-life action of sitting and standing, which is one of the first things older adults start struggling with. When muscle loss creeps in, a 2018 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity showed that seniors who practiced squats 3 times per week for 12 weeks increased lower body strength by over 30%. And most importantly, reported feeling more stable and confident with stairs and uneven ground. How to do it: start with a sturdy chair behind you. Stand with feet hip-width apart. Slowly lower down like you're going to sit. Tap the chair lightly, then press through your heels to stand. Do 2 sets of 10 reps. Add more over time. Tip from Carol: clasp your hands in front of you to help with balance and tighten those buns on the way up. 2. Heel to toe walk. balance line, the fall fighter, what it works. Ankle stability proprioception, body awareness, core balance coordination, the story. James, a retired firefighter from Arizona, shared, "This one saved me from a fall in the grocery store. I was reaching for a can of beans, tripped on a kid's shoe, but I caught myself. That balance training kicked in." This simple-looking exercise is a lifesaver. The CDC emphasizes that balance training can reduce fall risk by as much as 43% in older adults. It's also fantastic for neuromuscular control, which we lose with age, especially if we stop challenging it. How to do it? Stand tall near a counter for support. Walk in a straight line, placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other. Take 10-15 steps forward, turn and repeat going back. Aim for 3 rounds daily. Pro trick, try this with your eyes closed, only if you're holding onto something sturdy. 3. Wall push-ups, the upper body saver, what it works. Chest, shoulders, triceps, upper back core. The story, Elaine, 69, from Michigan, tells us, "When I started, I could barely push myself off the kitchen counter. Now I do wall push-ups. Every morning while the coffee brews, my arms don't jiggle as much, and I can open pickle jars again." Wall push-ups are perfect for building functional upper body strength without stressing the joints. They're also the gateway to better posture, shoulder mobility, and yes, improved confidence. A 2017 study in the European Review of Aging and Physical Activity found that a 10-week wall push-up program improved arm strength and reduced shoulder pain in adults over 65, especially among women. How to do it? Stand arm's length from a wall. Place palms flat on the wall at shoulder height. Slowly bend your elbows to bring your nose toward the wall. Push back to the starting position. Start with 2 sets of 10. Increase as you get stronger. Bonus tip: the closer your feet are to the wall, the easier. Step back for more challenge. 4. Ankle pumps and toe raises. The circulation booster, what it works. Calves, ankle joints, blood flow, foot muscles. The story: after a long flight to visit her grandkids in Denver, 73-year-old Nora developed swelling in her ankles. Her doctor recommended daily ankle pumps, and not only did the swelling go down, she said her feet stopped feeling like bricks. Ankle mobility is one of the most overlooked areas in senior fitness, yet it's crucial for balance, walking, and preventing circulation problems like DVT, deep vein thrombosis. How to do it? Sit in a chair or lie on your back. Point your toes towards you, then away from you. That's an ankle pump. Repeat 15-20 times. Next, stand and raise your heels off the ground, balancing on your toes. Toe raise. Do 2 sets of 10. Quick add-on: do this during TV commercials or while brushing your teeth. It takes less than 5 minutes. 5. Standing hip abduction, the hip protector, what it works. Gluteus medius, side hip, outer thigh, pelvis, stability, core. The story: after her 3rd fall, Mildred, 77, from Tulsa, was terrified. Her PT told her to strengthen her hip stabilizers, especially the gluteus medius, a muscle that helps keep the pelvis level when walking. After months of hip abductions, she hasn't fallen once. Research published in Clinical Biomechanics shows that hip abductor weakness is a leading contributor to imbalance and lateral falls in older adults. Strengthening this muscle can improve gait, protect the lower back, and even relieve knee pressure. How to do it? Stand near a countertop. Shift weight to your left leg. Slowly lift your right leg out to the side, keeping it straight. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower. Do 10 reps per leg, 2 to 3 sets. Pro tip: keep your toes pointing forward, not up. That isolates the side glutes. 6. Seated spinal twist and shoulder rolls, the posture reset, what it works. Thoracic spine, upper back, neck, shoulders, abdominals. The story: When Tom turned 70, his granddaughter said, "Grandpa, why do you always look like you're looking for a penny on the ground?" That's when he realized his posture was slipping. He started doing gentle spinal twists and shoulder rolls every morning. 6 months later, his wife told him, "You look taller." Modern aging leads to forward head posture, rounded shoulders, and compressed rib cages. This isn't just cosmetic. It affects breathing, digestion, and mood. Regular spinal mobility exercises combat this. How to do it. Spinal twist. Sit tall in a chair. Place your right hand on the outside of your left thigh. Gently twist your torso to the left. Hold for 10-15 seconds. Repeat on the other side. Shoulder. Roll, sit or stand. Roll shoulders up, back and down, big circles. Do 10 reps forward and 10 backward. Do this first thing in the morning to wake up your spine and nervous system. Putting it all together, a simple weekly routine. You don't need a fancy gym membership, and you don't have to exercise for hours. Here's how Carol and others fit it into their week. Sample weekly plan. Only 15 to 25 minutes a day. Monday strength. And balanced chair squats. Plus heel to toe. Walk Tuesday mobility and posture spinal twist. Plus shoulder rolls. Plus ankle pumps Wednesday, upper body and core wall push-ups. Plus standing hip abduction Thursday, flexibility and circulation. Toe raises. Plus ankle pumps. Plus chair squats Friday balance. And coordination heel to toe walk. Plus hip abduction Saturday light combo day all 6, 1 set each. 20 minutes max Sunday, rest or walk day. Go for a walk or stretch. Gently. The why behind the moves. Each of these exercises targets common functional declines that come with age. Chair squats. Prevent frailty. Increase lower body power, balance line walk. Reduce fall risk dramatically. Wall push-ups. Help maintain independence in upper body tasks. Ankle mobility drills. Aid circulation. Prevent leg stiffness. Hip abductions. Keep walking patterns strong. And hips stable posture stretches. Improve breathing, digestion, and even confidence. And remember, consistency beats intensity every time. Doing these movements 4 to 5 times a week, even at low reps, yields major benefits. The action checklist, daily, weekly, and monthly habits that keep muscles strong, cramps away, and you steady on your feet. When you walk into Tom and Martha's kitchen in Des Moines, you'll notice something stuck to the fridge next to the family photos and a magnet that says, "God bless our senior discount." It's a laminated list with boxes next to each item. At the top, in bold Sharpie, it reads, "Move it or lose it." That's their checklist. Every morning, they tick it off with a dry erase marker, just like they tick off who made the coffee or who left the dog bowl empty. It's not fancy, but it works because at the end of the day, knowing what to do isn't enough. You need a rhythm, a ritual, a simple system to make it stick. And that's what this checklist is for. Whether you're 65 or 85, live in a townhouse or a tiny home, have arthritis or a metal hip, you can follow this checklist. You don't need to be perfect, just be consistent. Let's break it down. Daily checklist, the golden 15. Takes but 15 minutes. This is your minimum movement prescription. Like brushing your teeth, this isn't optional. It's your base routine to keep your joints oiled, your blood moving, and your muscles awake. Morning, before or after breakfast. Shoulder rolls, 10 forward, 10 backward. Spinal twist, both sides, 2x each. Ankle pumps, 20 reps while seated or lying down. Toe raises, 2 sets of 10 reps. Afternoon, TV time or post-lunch energy dip. Chair squats, 2 sets of 10 reps. Wall push-ups. 2 sets of 10 reps, evening, after dinner or before bed. Heel-to-toe walk, down the hallway or living room, 2-3 rounds. Standing hip abduction, 10 reps each leg. Tip from Martha. We do the evening ones while watching Jeopardy. Alex Trebek may be gone, but our legs still gotta work. Weekly checklist. The strength cycle. These are tasks to review once a week. Some involve reflection, others involve a little more movement, but each of these helps you maintain momentum and avoid the dreaded backslide. Every Sunday, re-evaluate your progress. Ask yourself, are the exercises feeling easier? Do you feel less stiff when waking up? Are you more confident getting out of chairs or climbing stairs? Add 1 rep or 1 second. Progress doesn't have to mean 50 squats. Even adding 1 rep or holding 1 second longer on a balance move helps your body adapt. Schedule your rest day. Yes, rest is part of the plan. Mark one day as your easy day, where you just go for a gentle walk or stretch lightly. Hydration. Check. Cramps often worsen with dehydration. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water per day, or more if it's hot or you're taking diuretics. Check your shoes. Are the soles worn down? Do you feel less stable? Poor footwear leads to falls and joint pain. Invest in non-slip, cushioned, supportive shoes, especially if you have neuropathy. Celebrate one win. Maybe you walked further, maybe you didn't fall, maybe you just showed up all 7 days. That counts. Write it down or tell someone. Monthly checklist. Reset and recharge. At the end of each month, you'll use this list to adjust, remotivate, and keep the momentum alive. Every 30 days, review your calendar or journal. Look at how often you actually moved. What were your best days? What held you back? Look for patterns. Test your strength. Can you do more chair squats without using hands? Hold a wall push-up longer. Walk heel to toe more steadily. Write down your numbers on a sticky note and tape it somewhere visible. This makes your progress real. Measure your daily life strength. Ask yourself, is it easier to stand up from the couch? Can I carry groceries with less effort? Do I feel steadier on stairs or in the shower? These functional victories matter more than any gym record. Refresh your routine. Try a new variation. Add light dumbbells or soup cans to squats. Try wall push-ups with your feet farther back. Do hip abductions with a resistance band. Book a check-in with your doctor or physical therapist. Let them know you're exercising. They may adjust medications, offer tips, or cheer you on. Reward yourself. Buy new walking shoes. Treat yourself to a massage. Get a healthy lunch with friends. You're investing in your future. Celebrate. That. Bonus. Habit builder hacks. For seniors, let's face it, building new habits after 60 isn't easy. You've got decades of routines built in. So here are 5 tricks Tom and Martha swear by. Tie movement to daily rituals. Wall push-ups while waiting for coffee, ankle pumps before getting out of bed, hip abductions during commercials. Small wins add up. Use checklists you can see, print this out, tape it on the fridge, use a dry erase marker. Seeing it matters more than you think. Get a movement buddy. Spouses, neighbors, even grandkids can join. Carol from Oregon FaceTimes her sister every Monday for Mobility Monday. Track streaks. Use a calendar. Cross out every day you complete your daily checklist. Humans love streaks. Even dogs like routine. Don't break the chain. Miss a day? Fine. Miss 2? Nope. Restart the streak tomorrow. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about showing up again. Why checklists work for older adults? According to a 2020 study from the gerontologist, older adults who followed structured habit-building routines with visual tracking tools, like checklists or calendars, had 30% higher adherence to movement programs, 20% reduction in reported joint pain, greater long-term independence in daily activities. Checklists turn exercise into a game, not a burden. They offer clarity, momentum, and pride. And let's be honest, there's something satisfying about crossing off a box. The final word, you're stronger tomorrow, starts today. Tom turned 78 this year. And no, He doesn't run marathons or bench press his body weight, but last week he bent down to tie his shoelaces without using the arm of the couch for support. And when he stood up, he didn't feel dizzy, didn't groan, didn't even notice. He'd done it. Used to be I'd need a crane to get back up, he laughed, sipping his morning coffee while glancing at his move it or lose it checklist. That simple moment, bending down and standing back up without effort, is what we're chasing, because mobility isn't about movement. It's about freedom. The freedom to step confidently into the shower without worrying about slipping. The freedom to get on the floor and play with your grandkids without wondering if you'll be able to get back up. The freedom to walk around the block after dinner, holding hands with your partner, instead of staying seated on the porch because your legs feel like lead. Mobility gives us choices. Strength gives us dignity, and prevention gives us more years with the people we love. You're not too old. You're just not done yet. There's this story I love about a man named Walter who lived just outside Louisville, Kentucky. At 84, after a fall that sent him to the hospital, his doctor told him to take it easy. But Walter wasn't one for easy. So every day he stood at his kitchen sink and did heel raises while the coffee brewed. He practiced balancing on one foot while brushing his teeth. He used canned beans for shoulder exercises during commercials. A year later, he danced at his granddaughter's wedding. He didn't just walk her down the aisle. He twirled her in a slow, steady waltz, surprising everyone, including himself. That's what this is about. You don't need to be a fitness expert. You don't need a fancy gym or a personal trainer. You just need a willingness to start and to keep showing up, especially on the days when your joints ache, your motivation dips, or your grandkids eat the last of the cookies and leave the jar empty. Strong legs, steady heart, quiet nights if you've been battling leg cramps that wake you at 2 a.m. If getting out of your recliner feels like a chore. If you're afraid to walk on grass or uneven sidewalks because you might lose your balance, then hear this. Your body is not the enemy. It just needs attention. It needs consistency. It needs you. And yes, your muscles still respond to training, no matter your age. Your balance can improve. Your pain can decrease. Your confidence can grow. But none of that happens from wishing. It happens from doing. Start with 5 minutes. Stick the checklist on your fridge. Tell a friend. Make it a ritual. And the next time someone says, "You're getting old," just smile and say, "Yeah, but I'm getting strong too." Your action plan. Today, here's your 3-step plan to get started. Pick 3 exercises from part 3 that feel manageable. Do them today. Right now, if you can, print or write down the daily checklist from part 4. Tape it somewhere you'll see it. Commit to 7 days. No pressure beyond that. Just 1 week of showing up, ticking boxes, and noticing how your body responds. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to start steering the ship 1% at a time in the right direction. A final note. From the heart, you're not weak, you're wise. You've lived through decades of ups, downs, wars, recoveries, heartbreaks, and holidays. You've held babies, built homes, paid taxes, fixed broken things, and maybe even broken a few yourself. You deserve a body that carries you into your next chapter with dignity, ease, and joy. Not just to survive, but to thrive. At Senior Health, we believe health isn't about 6-pack abs or running triathlons at 90. It's about doing what matters most with the people who matter most for as long as you can. So take that first step. Lift that leg, stretch that calf. Check that first box. And if you need support, inspiration, or just a gentle nudge, we're here with you every step, every story, every squat. If you find this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health, where we make health simple, practical, and real for older adults in America. We've got more tools, tips, and true stories to keep you moving, motivated, and living fully, because your best years don't end after 60. They're just beginning.